Annie Claff here from the PNC Digital Desk, presented by PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. The O's get a series win. Here's the interim manager, Tony Mansolino.
Yeah, faced DeGrom, Evaldi, and then Strider. It is tough, for any offense. I feel like our guys have swung back good here for the last month, and I thought today's a pretty good indication of it. You face a really good major league bullpen, a lot of left-handed pitching in that thing that's been tough on us here over the last year and a half. And after 10 innings to walk out with 9 runs, you got to be pleased.
How's Sánchez?
He's getting an MRI right now, so we'll have probably more information tomorrow, would be my guess.
You talked pregame about how Ramon Laureano was your choice for All-Star. I mean, did it not surprise you to see him come through in the 10th there, deliver that go-ahead run?
Yeah, such a gritty player. He goes down, I think it was 1-2 or 0-2, goes down in the at-bat. Slider was tough on him today. It was hard to see today. I don't think you guys, I don't know if you guys could tell, but the shadows on that field for a 4 o'clock start is really tough. So hung in there, shadows are tough. Pretty good arm right there, Montero. Hits the ball hard, gets it past Riley, pretty good player, and, get it going from there.
How much trust did you have in Cano giving him that high leverage spot there and kind of closing it out?
Yeah, 10. He's a guy that was an all-star a couple years ago. So, again, sometimes when guys go back to AAA or go back to Norfolk, there's a lot of positives that can come out of that if they want it to be positive. So in Yenny's case, man, he went down there to work, did a good job, had a great attitude, and he's been back, a couple really good outings so far.
What do you think of Dean today?
He was good. The ball was up a little bit more today than it had been in the past, and he paid the price for it. It's a lineup that has probably been waiting to break out in a lot of ways. Is probably a good way to put it, and he left some balls up, and some pretty good hitters hurt him.
Do you feel like you've seen any similarities between yourselves and the Braves? Obviously two teams that had a lot of expectations this year, but also a lot of talent on either lineup here, both just trying to break out.
Yeah, I think, you look at the names in the lineups, right? Like, you look at both lineups, and it's they're good. They're dangerous-looking lineups. You see at times they've probably both struggled, a little bit more than we like. There's some starters on their side that they probably had healthier than ours. Both teams have some really good starters that have gone down and gotten hurt, and both teams are fighting for their lives and putting the 10 of urgency. A lot of desperation right now on both sides. So, yeah, a lot of similarities.
Do you know how Gary hurt his knee? Was on that play at the
It was
plate?
on the collision, yeah. Yeah, and again, we'll have more updates for you tomorrow on that. We don't know yet.
With the losing Sánchez, you worry about extra innings and that situation being thin at catcher?
Yeah, there's not a lot we can do, though. It's most teams are carrying 2 catchers. Some teams might have an emergency guy. We don't really. We kind of do. We got a guy that will say, hey, you're going to have to go in there and catch, and that's the risk of having only 2 catchers.
That'll do it here from the PNC Digital Desk, presented by PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865.